people are afraid to argue because they're afraid, I'll say something I can't take back. But you say things that you realize, I'm just like triggered by this, or I've been holding this in. That's the worst thing you can do, where you're like, this annoys me, this annoys me, this annoys me, and then you blow up.
I know. Guys, we are here with stand-up comedian Katie Boyle. So happy to have you back on the show.
Thanks. Happy to be back.
Hello.
You're so approachable. You have a face that says approach me for sure. We were just talking before we started recording.
Everybody talks to me.
You said everybody smiles in Ireland, but that's not an invitation to talk to each other. And that's, as somebody who's been there a handful of times, I'm like, that is very true.
And it is.
I'd be trying to start conversations and they're like, no, that's not the deal.
How are you as well is more just like, I'm good, thanks. But here, if you're like, how are you? All of a sudden the traumas come out and you're like, this was like a 2-second, how are you?
Oh, that's like a Gen Z new thing though, because like, I feel like millennials, like growing up, we knew just to answer, how are you with fine.
Yeah.
The answer's
good,
fine.
How are you?
Wait, I did a show where they did a tape and it was so bad. I don't want it to come out, but obviously it will at some point. But they tell you what the audience is. Maybe I'm not meant to say because maybe it hasn't come out yet. Okay, well, anyway, point is that it was Gen Z audience. And I got really nervous about that because the whole audience was Gen Z, and one of the girls in the audience, I made eye contact with her, but she had earphones in.
What?
And then I forgot my punchline, but I didn't want to say, because it was a taping, I was afraid if I were like, you have your earphones in, she'd be like, well, I'm autistic or
Listing
something. And then it just wouldn't go well with the Gen Zers. And they were nice, like they did a lot of clicking at me.
So wait, you don't know if she was autistic or rude?
Yeah, and I didn't.
That's Gen Z.
I was too scared. If it was a millennial, I would 100% have asked.
Yeah, the fuck's your problem?
Yeah, exactly. Oh
Wow.
gosh.
I've yet to see that. Headphones at a comedy club, at a comedy show?
Yeah.
Whoa. Is that one of the letter combos? OCD, ADHD, autism?
It could have been translating because I was at a different show, like a bar show, and there was a kid in the front, and I traumatized off that, then said like, oh my God, you guys, like Gen Z cannot be off your phone. And then I looked over and it was saying cannot be off your phone. It was translating into Italian. And then I was like, stop translating. You're just like the sweetest audience member ever. You're trying to hear all the words.
I mean, a venue should give the performer a heads up if someone's going to be wearing headphones because of translation. That feels like something information we should have before we go on stage.
Yeah. That's fair.
So how you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
It's been a minute since we last talked.
I know. I'm not going to cry on this one.
Oh, okay.
This is great.
You can if you want to.
You might. We never know where we'll go yet.
Well, it seems a lot of cool stuff has happened since we last chatted in your career and life. One of them that pertains to the show, like the categories of romance. So you met up with your childhood crush, or you saw your childhood or your high school crush?
Yeah, it was completely random. So I'd broken up with my ex-boyfriend, and then this is so weird, I went to a wedding, and I was kind of thinking like, for months I kind of didn't want to be with my ex, and we definitely weren't compatible. He's a lovely guy, but there was a lot of things we didn't want for the future. But I was going to a wedding and I kind of thought, it's like scary to go to the wedding alone. And then I was like, you need to break up with him. Because if you're just staying with someone so you have a plus one, this is not good for them. That's not growth.
I love going to weddings alone. Even when I have a boyfriend, I go to weddings alone a lot. Because I was like, I don't want to subject you to this for no reason.
And then I ended up staying out later than the bride and the groom. I had the best time for you.
It's super fun to go to weddings alone.
Yeah, but the girl is a childhood friend of mine. We went to different high schools, and she had reconnected with someone from her high school. Now, they'd been together years, but they were getting married and the speeches were really romantic about that reconnection. And I swear to God, joked to her afterwards saying like, I want this story. And I was like, but then everybody I grew up with kind of was like on ketamine, and I can't imagine that they...
That's how advanced.
Well, anyway, Lisa, very nice now. When you go to it, I felt gaslit when I saw it recently. I was like, this looks like a really nice town. But when I grew up, there was just teenagers passed out everywhere, like walking over a body. Remember girls in school saying they took Rohypnol?
What? They willingly themselves?
Willingly, just to see what it was like. Like, it was the craziest. I couldn't
even get weed in Ireland when I was there a couple years ago.
We would have had hash at the time, but you probably would have had to been 15, and knew a guy from Palmerstown, apparently.
Okay.
No, but yeah, I never, I smoked weed once, but it made me green. And I never did the like hardcore drugs because my dad was a cop.
Oh, nice.
And so,
That'll do it.
and I also just liked him. So
Yeah.
I was probably the only person. But yeah, so anyway, I was like kind of messing with her. And then a month later, I'm in Rotterdam, which is a 2-hour flight from Ireland. So it's actually like, and most Irish people go to Amsterdam, they don't go to Rotterdam. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's totally random. But there was a group of Irish at the back and I couldn't see them. So I was like, oh, well, where are you from? And they were like, Kildare. And I was like, where? And they were like, Lisa. And I was like, do I know yous? And then my now fiance shouted up his name. And then I turned around to the audience and I was like, okay, is there anybody else here who I used to kiss in my teens? So we basically...
Oh, so you, okay. I thought it was someone that you like had longed for years, but you had hooked up as kids.
Yeah, we kissed when we were 12.
Okay.
Oh, 12-year-old kiss.
All right, so
cute.
let's redact hooked up.
Yeah, there was no...
She was smooching.
There was no sex. There was never any fingering. That's usually...
Right.
But I got in loads of trouble because my best friend at the time really liked him, but she also liked everybody in the town. She was,
So you can't. Yeah, you can't.
yeah, she was the type who would like get mad at you for kissing her crush, but she'd never make a move.
Well, you can't call dibs on everyone. You can
I
call
know.
dibs on one person. Everyone knows those are
Two
the
max.
rules.
Yeah.
Two max.
She had like
See,
7
Krystyna-
people.
Two max.
Krystyna was calling dibs on 2.
Yeah. 2 is fair.
I feel like you can only call dibs on 1, but depends. I guess it depends how big the school is.
Sure.
maybe.
Yeah, well, it was a big school in fairness. But I remember one of our other friends had kissed some other guy that she had a crush on. And then my friend ended up in like a 2-year relationship with him, but they still had beef that whole time. So
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of
I had
just...
friends that dated guys that I would like bring a guy to a dance, and then one of my close friends, they just started dating for 4 years, and I'm like, well, that's the way the cookie
Yeah,
crumbles.
yeah.
Okay, there's a lot of other fish in the sea.
Yeah, and I would constantly try to set him up with her after this, which he says now was really annoying. I don't really remember. I was like drunk most of my teens. But yeah, I guess I was trying to like redeem myself by forcing him to kiss her, which is like really bad. But then when we were 15, we kissed. I don't remember this because I was really drunk. I definitely would have wanted to. It's not consensual. I just was blackout drunk most of my teens.
Sure.
But then his friend got really, who was also my friend at the time as well, but closer to him, like got really violent with him and like pushed him up again, ripped his chain off. And so I found that very attractive at the time.
Yeah.
And so I got with that guy for 2 years.
Nice.
Yeah. He was like pretty mental, but he's like apparently really nice now. So good for him. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's
Mental is not boring.
yeah, he was really funny. Like
what do you
stabbed
want?
himself for me. That was like
Oh my
perfect for me when I was
God.
younger. Yeah.
What? So Romeo
Because I like
and
broke up
Juliet.
with him and then he like
In front of you?
How much? What are we
just
talking
a
about?
little bit, but
Stab?
enough to have a scar. In fairness to him. Also, I'm so sorry if people are able to figure out who this is. Don't get mad at me, but like everybody knew at the time, and apparently you're doing great now, so you're fine.
No, this is a lot of people are going to
Oh.
be getting wet from this story.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "Why didn't you stay with that amazing man?"
Prince.
But we were all just very dramatic when we were younger.
Did he stab himself in front of you?
Yeah, it was outside our friend's house and it was
Fascinating.
in his stomach and he had a scar.
Wow.
But you know what? He had his own trauma going
Sure.
on and yeah. Who hasn't?
I
cut
know.
themselves? I did my arms.
I think it was what I tried to like kill myself when I was 11, but I was like, I took my mom's razor to my wrist and I was like, ow, that hurts. And I got like mad at myself for hurting myself. It was, you know, we
we're
don't know
like
what
the
we're
same person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Very
couldn't commit
violent
fully
mothers.
because it's too painful.
And not safe. But so you reunited with this guy that you kissed in your teens.
Yeah, so after the show, he came up to me and he was like, "Oh, would you like to drink with us?" Because he was there with his family. Actually, I guess his sister lives in not I guess, but she lives in the Netherlands, so that's
Okay.
kind of why he was there. And I just drank with them all night, and he was like super forward. Like at one point, he put his hand on my leg underneath the table, and bold move, like. But
Yeah.
I looked at
That's
him like,
super bold.
I know.
I'm questioning. I'm like, that's like super bold.
That's
to
bold
me.
for Katie.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like that's like good.
Oh
first
right,
move.
you're like, oh yeah, you're
Or
like.
are you saying the hand on the? Because sometimes a guy puts his hand on your knee and it packs a punch. You know
Like,
what I'm
hand
saying?
on the knee is like a classic first date. Let's try it out move. I mean,
Yeah.
I know you weren't on a date, but
It is bold,
kinda
like
were.
if I didn't like it, but because
Yeah.
I liked it, and I think even he was like, "Oh, let's see." But we were definitely like
yeah.
flirting across the table, and
Yeah.
it was hot because his like sister and brother were on opposite sides, and he's just putting a hand under.
Yeah,
but I
I
definitely
can
was
see that.
flirting with him, so it wasn't like uncalled for, but. There was one point where his sister was like, "Oh, he forgets kissing my friend when we were younger," and I was like, "Oh, do you remember kissing me?" And he goes, "Oh, I'd never forget that."
Whoa.
Okay,
Okay.
husband.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and then
Also, I didn't realize you were engaged.
yeah,
That's
we're
pretty
engaged.
cool.
Yeah, he proposed like a year later back in
A year
the
after
Netherlands.
that meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was very romantic.
Oh, he's been
Wow.
thinking about you for years.
Was this
Yeah.
just like smooth sailing from this reunion?
Yeah, he changed his flights to stay longer in
Wow.
Rotterdam with me, and then we just spent the whole month in Ireland together. And then he asked me to do long distance, told me he was in love with me, all of that stuff. And yeah, and then we've been doing long distance since. And
Oh my
I go back
God.
loads, and he comes over. So, like, it was smooth sailing in regards of the
Like, we like each other. There's no questions. There's no game playing.
But it wasn't smooth sailing in the it's still long distance.
Sure.
We had like big fights in a way that was good. This is like something that I've learned from our relationship. Having a fight is like really, really important.
Yeah.
Because you air it out and then you grow from it and then you learn from it. And I feel like with my ex, he really was uncomfortable. Like he would just shut down. So everything had to be like, okay, let's think about it. Let's talk about it, to the point where it kind of took away a bit of the passion or whatever. Whereas with my fiance now, like at least we have it out and then we figure out.
you can get the honesty out on the table. No one takes it
Yeah.
personally, and you can figure it out. From
And every
there.
time we've had a fight, we've definitely gotten better for it. So
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I remember my one ex of 7 years. He was like, "We need to learn how to fight with each other," and I was like, "What? We don't fight? What are you talking about?" And then I realized, yeah, I was throwing a temper tantrum every time we would have an argument. So I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. And it is a very valuable skill. And also, every relationship is you're two different people.
Yeah.
So the way that you would argue with him is going to be different than the way you would argue with another guy. You know?
Yeah, and you say things like, people are afraid to argue because they're afraid, oh, I'll say something I can't take back. But you say things that you realize, oh, I'm just like triggered by this, or I've been holding this in. That's the worst thing you can do, where you're like, this annoys me, this annoys me, this annoys me, and then you blow up.
I know.
But it's actually really good because then the person is saying, oh, you've been actually
Holding on.
being patient with this, being tolerant or whatever. Yeah. So
But sometimes people say things that just never should be unsaid. Like someone will be like, and that's why your mother never loved you. Like that's
oh, that's really
fucked up.
bad. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
that
if you're
kind of shit does not need to be said ever. And
That's
like
so
when someone
true.
says something like that to you, you're like, okay, I probably should leave right now.
Oh yeah, 100%. No. If you're gonna say, we've both been to therapy, so we're not gonna say anything that's like manipulative. Like I don't want the argument.
Cruel.
That's actually a good point. Like I don't want to win the argument. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like if you're
You wanna
trying to
resolve the
you want to
problem. 'Cause
resolve.
You're
Yeah,
on the same team. I always forget that part.
yeah, you're on the same team, and that's something my fiance
Crazy
always
concept.
says.
But
Yeah.
but I know exactly what you mean, because I've found that like in retrospect, anyone who I didn't feel like I was on the same team on, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't really like that person, and that's why I didn't feel like I was on the same team. And like it's when you feel like you're on the same team, it's actually so easy to be nice to men.
Yeah, 100%. Like, like I
Not struggling with it at all.
would
Man.
Yeah, like
One man.
we don't like patriarchy, obviously. So then the words lead to I don't like men. But like I really like my fiance. If we weren't, if he were a girl, he'd be like he'd be a friend.
Yeah.
Do you know? It's
I like how you said best, and then
That should be a part of your-
Yeah, well, then I was like,
A friend.
I feel like he's technically still my best friend, but I also have like really good best friend girlfriends.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I would never say anything that I would think would hurt him, because I like love him and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm not worried about an argument. I'm not going to be like, there'd be no point in me being like, this is why. That type of arguing is like, you have mental health issues where you're like, like that toxic we all have mental health issues, but you know that toxic one where people try to wear you down or manipulate you or hurt you so that you stay with them. I would never
yeah.
want someone to
so
be
you
with me.
stay with them.
Yeah, so if I'm
Ugh.
like,
Yeah.
this is why your mother does this, and
I mean,
then they're
that's
like,
just abuse.
yes, abuse. Yeah, I'd never abuse him.
What's the word? What's the word?
We don't abuse each other, which is great.
Yay.
Yeah, but
nice.
other than that, smooth sailing. Like it's definitely like if you're in a relationship and you're not feeling it, and like me and my ex probably shouldn't have been together for a while, and he
What was
knows
the
that
feeling?
now.
Yeah, I want to get into that a little bit. I didn't
Yeah.
know if we could. I mean, I know he's a comic and stuff. I don't want to talk trash, but you guys were together for a long time.
Yeah.
How many years?
I must have been over 3, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
My longest relationship probably in the States anyway, or in a long time.
And it always stuck out because I always noticed your relationship because you would talk about it on stage, and you would always talk about him really favorably. And so that's why it stuck out, because it's not really a pattern with female comics saying great things about men on stage. And I was so happy for you.
Yeah. No, I definitely recommend my ex to any future girl that he
that's
dates.
so nice.
Yeah,
That's nice.
I feel a lot of guilt in like there's certain jokes that are in my special, but I wrote them while I was with him. So, but when you say it as like my ex, it sounds mean.
Sure.
It sounded so much nicer when we were together.
Right.
Yeah,
But I still wanted to keep the jokes because I liked them. And then my new hour has certain jokes. There's a certain joke about him that, but I try to set it up like this isn't to be bad about him. It's just we were brought up differently. If that
Sure.
makes sense, like someone else would be okay with this. I wasn't. But yeah, no, he's. I think for me it was he like I grew up with like extremely hardworking. Like dad, my brothers are extremely hardworking, and this is nothing to my ex, but he had a more like, you know, wants to sort of like play video games or not the same work ethic as me. And at some point, I felt like I was drowning in the relationship. Like, I knew we weren't going to have like the same money goals or the same like achievements or whatever, if that makes sense.
Yeah, when someone's less motivated than you, it drives you crazy. I've even lived with roommates who were less motivated.
Yes.
And that caused an issue for me. So
honestly, having friends that are unmotivated is tough, to be honest. I don't really want to talk to you because you make my skin crawl in a way. There's nothing bad about you, but that rubs against your motivation, rubs against their unmotivation.
Well, yeah, and like even my ex kind of brought up having a friendship, but I didn't think it'd be fair to be friends with an ex while my fiance's not in the country. My fiance was like, okay,
only a woman
throw
would
me
think
under
of
the
that.
bus. My fiance just doesn't care. He's like so secure. And he also thinks that my ex sounds like a really nice guy. So he doesn't like, there's no issue there. But it's the motivated thing. Like I find it hard to be friends with because I want to help people. And that was something I had to work on therapy because it's also like unfair to people as well to want to help them too much. But yeah, I need to be friends with people who are doing the same things. We're like, have the same goals to a certain point. And I knew if I stayed friends with my ex, I'd be just trying to help him and try to push him. Whereas he's happy.
Yeah.
You should just be with someone who's like, yeah, like this is this is all I want. I want to play video games, do comedy when I want to do it. And that's totally fine.
That works perfectly for some other person.
Yeah, because then you turn into a nag.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
When he was younger than you too, right?
Way younger, so I'm the problem.
How long? How much younger?
5 years.
That's not way younger.
Oh,
How old are you?
Only
35.
Women are like we're trained by society to say that because it's so crazy. Like anytime a woman's dating a younger guy, that's not. I dated someone 12 years younger. That's not young. That 5 is not like.
Well, I say in
crazy.
regards to like, I guess it makes sense that I
but
was
he's
further
immature
along.
for sure. Yeah.
Oh, but this is the thing. Actually, when I think about it, 5 years ago, I also was way more.
Yeah.
Like still way like when I was 24, I moved to America. I started comedy. So no matter what, even if I say he's 5 years younger, he still wouldn't be on the path that
Yeah. And again, and it's like, I think that's an important distinction to make of like, it's no one's wrong. Sometimes in breakups, like, I forget, I don't have to vilify the other person. It just doesn't work. And that's okay. And no one's should be punished or blamed for that.
And he wasn't toxic. It's the first, and I learned loads of skills like with him that work
he
with my
made you
fiance.
tea every day, right? I like
he was
that.
very
I
kind.
always
Very
remember
sweet.
that.
Yeah, very sweet. There is things though, like with my fiance now, that's really important to me that I know my ex just wouldn't have been able to do or not the same. It's like cultural stuff. And my fiance as well goes above and beyond, like helping me. So it's it feels like a bit more. So like every time I come home, he'll pick me up from the airport. He drives me around to like my shows. He drives me to my family. He like taped this man has a full-time job that I'm not allowed to say because he's afraid. Fair.
Yeah, sure.
But he has like a really, really good job.
Nice.
And he's just the type of person who wants to help people. He saw my sister at the airport. She lost her headphones and she can't live life without her headphones, as you had said earlier. She needs them. So he called his friend who works at the airport. She went and got them. He then drove her all the way home out of it. Like he's always doing stuff. He's texting my brother. And as much as my ex doesn't have that type of relationship with like, family. And if, and like this week I really needed someone, I kind of thought, like me and my ex definitely, he wouldn't have been able to do what I needed this week. Whereas my fiance picked me up from the airport, drove me down to the country, came down, whatever I needed was like, that sort of way, like those little things that are just more, we're like, we have the same sort of traits in what you do for people.
Sure. Yeah. I often like, when I was dating my other ex that was like, had just a crappy attitude. I was like, I like going into a room and lighting up the room and be engaged with people. And I'm like, could you imagine? So like you love helping people. Could you imagine if you were dating somebody that also loved to do that? Like the possibilities are endless. And so like you said, you get to enjoy the fruits of this like really beautiful bond because you both love doing that.
And he has a good job because I was like, those qualities are amazing, but like to find someone who also makes money and has time to drive you.
I know. I hit
So
the
happy for you,
jackpot.
Katie.
Like,
So happy for you.
and it's
Love
literally
this for
no
you.
shade on my ex because
Sure.
that's like totally fine to be that way. But my fiance now is a bit more jackpot-y.
Yeah.
Like that is crazy. He's
And that's who you should marry.
He's making
Yeah.
like a logo for me right now because
Oh, that's great.
he's like, there's the president of Ireland now. By the way, the president doesn't really have much control. So sometimes people are like, oh, that's so cool. You have this socialist woman. And it is amazing, but she can't really do much. Well, I hope she will be able to. But anyway, her name's Catherine Connolly. And she had this kind of the way Zoran had, they had this like very like, oh, you knew that was his poster. You knew that's her poster.
Yes.
And hers is kind of Celtic-y. I never thought about it, to be honest. It never even occurred to me. But my fiance was like, you need that. Like there should be like a logo on all your clips. So he's like making me... He's
making your life better.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
Isn't
would have
that
never
crazy?
thought of. But yeah, it makes sense. Like I knew
really
what
the
a
goal.
Catherine Connolly poster was. 'Cause
Yeah,
she had her
yeah.
own. But that I was like, oh yeah,
And you
that'll
only
make
have
you.
so much time to think about so many aspects of your career, right? Because there's you wear a dozen hats when you're in entertainment industry. So that's nice.
And I can't do. He's made me Excels just to keep like,
Wow.
oh, did you pay the agent? Did you do this or you need this? Like, and I don't know how to do an Excel. Oh, for my email list. So, and I can't do anything for his job because I'm not qualified. You need to have like a master's. To
Good.
do it.
Let him
I
help.
do listen to the workplace tea. He has someone to vent to. So I always ask, how's this person doing? That's how I contribute.
Yeah, that's great.
I know
That's
all
good.
their names.
That's amazing. Well, we say a lot on the show, like as terms of straight couples, the straight man always benefits so much more than the woman in the relationship. But it sounds like this is actually an equal relationship.
Yeah.
Because he benefits from
Well
having a
done.
woman in his life.
Okay, thank you. I was like, God, I need to go blow him.
And he,
No,
No, you're fine.
Society is really evening up because of what you're doing. You're doing
Yeah.
important work.
And I bring
Yeah.
him a lot of like the fun. I do. I bring a lot
That's
of fun.
great.
And like,
You're the-
as
Yeah.
women do. I mean,
Yeah.
we were fun. We're the fun ones.
Let a woman be the personality hire for once. It's always the man as the personality hire in a relationship. So this is good.
yeah, and I do loads of sweet stuff for him. Like,
Yeah.
like cute things.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Did you discuss marriage before you proposed?
We did. Yeah, because it got to the point it was like 6 months in and obviously
TikTok, motherfucker.
I know. I was like, he was talking about how he wanted to have a kid, and I was like, oh, well, or maybe he hadn't talked about that yet. We kind of had to have that talk pretty quickly because I was turning 35, but because it's not that I realize a lot of women have kids like up until their 40s now, but I still think it's something I haven't ever decided. So I
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
need to make the decision.
Yeah, you should start thinking about it.
Yeah, like yesterday probably. But then we kind of just talked about like what's the point of keeping to doing long distance, spending all this money if we don't want the same things. And so I was like, I do definitely want to, like, I won't live in Ireland if it's for a boyfriend. I won't live in Ireland if it's for a fiance. Like there'd be no talk of me coming home.
Yeah.
Unless it was like a husband.
Yeah.
And then then he took that as go get a ring.
So wait, are you moving to Ireland?
No, so we've talked about it, and because I'm a citizen here now, I'll do probably 3 months at the start of the year, 3 to 4, and 3 or 4 at the end.
That's
Those are my
nice.
busiest times anyway.
Yeah.
And he's perfectly fine with that. So
And you get some space.
yeah, and he's pretty introverted as well. So I'm so extroverted that I think he's probably delighted when I'm gone. Not in a bad way,
Just
but
to get the room to himself.
yeah, and I've a really big family. Like even when we're talking about wedding guests, he's like, Jesus fucking Christ, Katie. Like, so he's pretty happy with that. And then that way,
This really seems like an ideal scenario.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
happy.
Getting to take 6 months off from your marriage. I mean, wow.
Fantastic.
like, and obviously I've even said to him, like, if we do have a kid, again, I'm still on the fence, and he mined my cats for Fringe when I was gone. And after that, he was like, I'm really rethinking this kids thing. Fuck me. The cat was like pawing
not
his head
easy.
at 6 a.m. But we'll see. Like, I think we're still maybe like potentially one, but I have said again, I'll be gone. But he's such a fan of like what we do.
Yeah.
Also, all his favorite comedians are women. Like, he's introduced
Really?
me, swear to God.
Wow,
When
this is a lone wolf. that
Yeah,
you've
this is
found.
crazy. I'm so
No.
glad I'm hearing this story.
Even if I find out he's like a serial killer, I'll be like, that's
So,
fine, babe.
Too many good qualities to
I
pass
keep
up.
the
I
bodies
went on
hidden.
a rant the other day about how anytime a male comedian or a man in general makes a list of his favorite comedians, I've never once seen a straight man include a female comic in that list. ever.
When we were going to Fringe, his list of comedians he wanted to see, there was no men on it.
Who did he want to see out of curiosity?
Janine Harouni.
Oh, okay. The Irish. Okay.
Alice. No, she's actually from New York. Have you ever seen her? Oh my God, if she ever
Never
comes,
even heard of her.
if she comes,
That's
you should have her on the
crazy.
podcast. Her life's amazing.
Really? Cool.
She's like inspirational because she's just like does everything herself. So
cool.
successful. Her husband is Irish. She's a New Yorker. Her mom is Irish, and I think her dad is Lebanese. So she's just like really interesting stories, but lives in London.
Oh, okay. I was like, she doesn't live in New York.
Oh
Okay.
no, yeah, but she comes over. But so her Alison Spittle, she's from Ireland. Caroline, oh my God, I can't believe I'm blanking on Caroline's last name. That's so annoying because she's amazing. But she's from Ireland as well. Aoife Dunn, she's from Ireland as well. So yeah, it was all kind of the Irish women, which is amazing because
Interesting.
the sort of, and then there was a couple other comics I hadn't even heard of before. But yeah, there's like way more male Irish comics, so it is amazing that he knows all the
I love
Wow.
that.
yeah. Aideen McQueen as well.
Nice.
These are all great comics. I wish I could just import them over here because their shows are all better than and it was kind of weird to me that I've been going back and forth for 10 years. A lot of these comics I hadn't seen them before and they were way better than anything I'd seen. And also like they're not in the scenes that we're in where New York is like, we're the best scene, we've the best comedians. And I was like, these girls would eat some of the comics alive.
Nice. I love that.
That even we still only have like, one comic per lineup a lot. Or even at home, the girls say they're kind of fighting for spots and you're like, that's
Why is
mad.
that?
'Cause
Yeah.
they're, or a couple of the Irish lads.
But I mean, that's the audience's fault. That's not our fault, you know.
I know.
I mean, it's like, and it's also even like the fact that like you say like they're better. I'm like, this is a conversation I've had a lot of times. Like, I do feel like audiences are getting dumber. I mean, I've been doing this for 15 years now, and it's alarming. Like, they just can't grasp concepts in the same way, and it's noticeable. And they don't want to be talked to a lot, obviously. I mean, that's like from the TikTok crowd work.
The attention span
trend. But it's rough sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. Rachel Galvo. That was the other girl.
Oh,
amazing.
I
Sorry.
look up all these people.
But and I'm gonna look up Caroline's name before we leave, so I can definitely give her. But no, it's so true about what you said. Well, I also think gatekeepers as well, and I think for a lot of the women as well, like it's a lot of the spaces aren't necessarily safe, so they're a little.
Really?
Well, I guess for us it's grand because we've been kind of doing it and whatever, but. A lot of them when they come home, like maybe there's like bar shows, or I feel like it's just easier for men to get into that kind of rhythm, or, but yeah, no, I think the audiences, I think like Live Nation for me sent out this email blast, and I had specifically said to the promoter, please make sure that I write the email before they send it out, and I can have, and then they didn't, and that was fine. But there's no point.
That's annoying.
I know. I already.
What's an instruction?
I already gave out to them, but to the guy. But and he's lovely. He had his own shit going on, but they're not understanding that no one who goes and buys a fucking ticket to whatever a concert is coming to a random woman. You need to see a clip of her.
Yeah,
because they'll go to see a white male comedian because
right.
This is I've said this so many times on the show, so thank you for reiterating it so they don't
woman
think
on a
it's
poster does
my
nothing.
crazy feminist ranting. But yeah, I mean, that's what I said. I said, please, if you are a fan of us and you come to see us, bring a friend or make your boyfriend come. Like, because men are always I don't want to say forcing, but women always go along with their spouses or boyfriends to their chosen entertainment, but men don't do us the same service, and it affects our wallet. So it's like, if you can't get your boyfriend to come, or if your boyfriend's going to ruin your good time, you bring a friend who who isn't familiar, because that is a feminist move right there, because you're absolutely right. Like, that's why so many men, and I think it's white men and black men can do this in comedy, can go and perform cold and just have their poster up and people will go see them, but no one will go cold see any woman.
Yeah.
Ever.
And I've had women say to me, oh oh my God, you're actually funny, but I didn't think women are funny. And then I was like,
Yeah, of course.
okay, so that's internalized misogyny.
That's not a compliment.
That's so crazy.
But I have had men come to my show, and I think it's honestly from Reddit, and I can't believe I'm going to say that I love Reddit. This sounds crazy, but
My manager's been telling me to get on Reddit for a minute.
if you need any help with it, it's
I do.
been
I'm gonna
such a
text you.
positive experience. And no, I swear to God, I can't believe I'm
That's
saying
great.
this.
no, I know. I don't go on. I've banned myself from Reddit.
Oh, well, so the men who
Me
come
too.
to me from Reddit always bring their wife, and their wife is like,
Really?
I didn't know you before. Like, I'm not really, but I don't think stand-up is pushed on women as well when it comes to social media or
Yeah.
whatever, but they always bring their wife or their girlfriend. And I'm like, I literally have a joke on stage being like, these are the perfect men,
Yeah.
because they're literally paying to listen to a woman.
Yeah.
But so the other thing you were saying as well about audiences. So I had a guy come. I had an amazing time at the Port this weekend. They were brilliant, and this last show was not their fault. 3 out of 4 shows, absolutely amazing. 4th show, not their fault because he was a fan of me. He brought
Your fault.
100% no. He brought 25 people.
Whoa.
Comedy clubs usually don't allow groups bigger than like
8,
10, something like
Yeah,
that.
and
all doing
they
cocaine.
don't, but I think he bought it separately because they only do 10. And like, I felt so sorry for the owner because he was like, I don't know how to I don't know how I'm going to. And I was like, that's not your fault, because I had checked and you can only buy 10 at a time. And so this guy, and he's screaming, he's a big fan, but with the opener, he got really weird about his religious stuff. And I was like, fuck, like my whole show is based around sort of saying how St. Bridget is pagan. She gave the first abortion. It's pro-abortion rights. It's kind of proving that abortion would never be a regular form of birth control. And it has so many callbacks that you can't be hammered. You
Right.
can't be
Gotcha.
hammered.
Yeah.
And so they were so hammered. The woman who started crying in the audience, who wasn't part of them, but she was like crying because she was in the wrong century of what the joke I was talking about. I don't know how I was talking about pagan women putting their babies
It's
in
amazing
in
you're
wells.
even able to talk about something this highbrow.
Yeah.
Like, that's a testament to your audience, honestly.
But then she thought I was talking about World War II, and she started crying, and she was like, that's because women were assaulted, they put their babies in wells. And I was like, I'm so sorry, you're like in the wrong century. And I was like, Ireland wasn't even in World War II. Like they were
We
just
stay the
neutral.
fuck
They
out
were
of it.
they were trying to figure out their own shit. And then she was like, I work in a pharmacy. And then so the retirement party.
What?
Yeah. And then I go, well, stop eating your own supply because
Yeah,
you're on a
yeah.
different planet. And then she laughed at that. And that was nice because then she had a moment where she was like, okay. And then I said, or you could take Adderall because then you could concentrate.
Yeah.
But then the retirement party go, whoa, whoa, whoa. And they kind of been talking through the whole show. They've been kind of heckling. And I looked at them and I was like, that's not the appropriate noise for what I just said.
Right.
And they were like, our friend needs Adderall. And I was like, I don't understand what's happening. And they just, and then
They were
just,
saying you can't make a joke out about it because they have one friend who needs it medically.
I think so. And I was like,
Comedy is just not.
I
I
need it medically.
Yeah, for you. Yeah.
But yeah, they just kept, and then eventually they left. But when they left, so they left at 40 minutes, and my show, unfortunately, is an hour and 15. This is why I don't have a host. It's ridiculous. I'm insane. But the show was immediately better. And then all of the callbacks, like when the audience would laugh, and I felt like the audience were laughing harder because I think they kind of felt like they were like, we're locked in, the rest of the
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah.
Because them and the other girl left. And the other girl apologized to the doorman. I think everybody had been drinking all day. They had like Krampus that day. There was a saxophone playing outside. It was mental.
Whoa.
But yeah, so they all left and he was like, I'm still a fan. And I was like, I'm confused.
Cool.
But every callback they would have ruined and the show got so much better. So
Good.
I just feel like I should just tell clubs like, send a PSA, I might be Irish, but you can't be hammered at my show.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Also, getting hammered and going to a comedy club, I never understood.
But a retirement party, they wanted to be roasted. And nothing of my clips says that like most of my clips I post are jokes. There's the
Right.
odd crowd work moment, but even then it's not roasty. It's like,
Yeah.
so
Well, that's the problem. Every age group now thinks the comedy show is about them. It's like a special presentation, and we're hired some kind of fucking hired court jester or something.
yeah, hire me to go to your retirement party and give me the names and tell me you want it and give me 10 grand. Like, fuck off.
Right,
Don't come
exactly. I will
tonight.
write customized jokes for a roast of you.
Yeah, it's like
that
comedians
needs prep.
like will do private events, but they're in private.
Yeah. And then you're ruining, and everybody else had such a better time once they were gone, and they even said that. And it was weird because the night before we had a bridal, like a bachelorette.
That could be hit or miss.
They were amazing.
Yay.
And it was just such a good, like, oh, don't presume. Because, like,
Sure.
if I had known they were a bachelor up top, I might have been a bit like, oh, but they were so great. They're so amazing. And then the retirement party were, like, rude and, like, like talking, and the bouncer kept having, and I'd say, look, they just deported themselves. I'd say the bouncer was about to kick them out.
Yeah.
And they still paid for 40 minutes. Like most comics only do, like men do 45 minutes. So they still got a full
They got the whole, they got a show's worth.
But yeah, it was just that type of thing where it wasn't going to be the show for them. You needed to listen, get the callbacks. It like clearly,
So is it more like a one-woman show if it's handling like that? Like, is it one concept?
I don't think so, because it's still stand-up.
Well, is it like a concept stand-up show though? Like kind of like Ari Shafir Jew, for example, if you saw that?
I'm trying to think. Well, the start of it, I guess it all links together, because it's all about
That's
like
interesting. I like that.
Yeah, like coming to America, getting the citizenship, not understand Republican or liberal, because in Ireland, conservative is liberal here. So we actually have a socialist country compared to here.
Yeah, right.
And then that, like, learning about that through my ex and sort of his family, which I also have to be very careful if he listens to this. Don't worry, I'll be careful what I post. But because I guess his family are more Republican leaning, so I kind of like, that was a weird experience. And then so being with my ex, needing to break up with him, meeting childhood crush, getting with childhood crush, having this amazing relationship, but then getting pregnant. And like, I have been, fuck me, I thought it was really hard for me to get pregnant. Even though like I've always used condoms, there's been things where a guy took the condom off, or when I was younger in Ireland, but some other stuff.
Like stealthing, like without your knowledge?
Yeah, I was stealthed, but that guy, we've never talked about it, and I don't like him, I don't talk to him. But I'd say he just sees women as like second class.
Sure.
And he just
usually
he wouldn't think that he wouldn't think that he's done anything wrong.
So you thought it was hard for you to get pregnant just because there had been enough instances of you having condomless sex?
No, I guess not, because I always use
or was it medically told to you that it was hard?
No, I guess I
just assumed because you were drinking in your teens, you're like, these ovaries.
I guess I always use condoms. I guess I always use condoms, but I just assumed like it'd be harder. So many of my friends my age who wanted to have kids, it took, I don't know. I just really never thought that a condom was not enough for, like, I'm not on the pill or anything. I haven't been on the pill in like 15 years. I've just used condoms or pull out. I've done pull out with my ex, my American ex. So that is like,
love a pull out.
You would think risky enough.
Sure.
And
Very
then
risky.
my fiance, we got pregnant. So, but it's like Irish on Irish sex. It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
It is. Those men are so fertile. Seriously.
Are they fertile?
Well, we're missing 4 million people from the famine.
Right.
So the genes are fucking like, my dad's had 5 kids.
Right. Jesus. So that's
they're
more
very fertile. 100%.
So how far into the relationship did you end up getting pregnant?
6 months.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Was there any talk about keeping it, or absolutely no?
No, for me. And my fiance is just like, it's up to you completely, 100%. I can't make this decision.
Yeah.
I'll support you no matter what. And then I told him my reasons, and he was like, I was like, I can't. And he was like, thank fucking God, He was like,
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and I even said to him, like, oh, if you decide to have a kid in the future and we can't, are you going to look back at this moment? And like, he was like, no, 100%. And like, the thing is, another thing we don't talk about, like, it's so high, like, a lot of women do miscarry. And that is not to negate the experience of how, if you want a baby, you would be very upset about that. But at the same time, there would have been a high chance I could have miscarried. I just was not taking the risk with that. And I'm really glad I had abortion as an availability, but like the morning after pill failed me. Took it 6 hours after.
Oh. Really?
Yeah, apparently it doesn't work if you're ovulating. Who the fuck knows when you're ovulating?
Oh, well, you counted that. I
just gotta count the days, yeah.
But it's scientific, but it's something that you would never know unless you read a book about it, which I did.
Talked about. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, so
and we talk about the morning after pill quite a lot on the show.
I've never heard that one either. Good to know. All right, new facts.
So
new
wait, you had a condom and the condom also failed?
No, like in all honesty. And so I do in the show talk about the morning after pill and its effects, and that's a big part of it. But in all honesty, I was on my period, so I didn't think I could get pregnant, and we did pull out, but we were like having sex, and I was like, you know what? At least we have the morning after pill, so we'll probably be fine. And I hadn't taken it in 10 years, and I kind of thought, live a little.
Yeah. And you were on your period, so you were on your period.
Yeah, it was the last day of my period, but I didn't realize that your last day Yeah, I had none of.
But
no
wait,
clue.
I thought you could only get pregnant when you're. This is so funny. We're having this conversation. I thought you could only get pregnant when you are ovulating, which is totally different than when you're having your period.
I must have been ovulating and probably just a little blood left or something. I don't really fucking know. And the pharmacies in Ireland interview you for the pill. It's mental. And
you were in Ireland?
Well, yeah, Ireland is not.
Yeah, and the man never told me. Like, he asked when my last day of my period was. He never said like you could be ovulating, it won't work. He was like, oh yeah, you're fine.
Well, what was it? Wait, so what does the interview entail?
It's crazy, and this is another thing I talk about in the show. But they, in this specific pharmacy, they don't have like a private room, so they had a plywood box built in the middle of the room, which a lot of pharmacies in Ireland have if they didn't have like
a confession booth.
I swear to God, I felt like I was
So
going in
Irish.
with the priest, and like people could see your shoes.
No.
And he even pointed at it and he was like, I'm going to interview you in there for your privacy. I was like, my fucking privacy? Everybody knows that's a pill box.
And they can hear.
Oh my God, it's
There's no way they
mental.
can't hear. It's not a soundproof box, I'm guessing.
No, it was crazy. And even all the questions, one of the questions he was like, at the end, he was like, it went on for a while. Like to the point that I was like, I'm getting fucking pregnant.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, get me the pill.
baby is baking as you're asking me these questions.
What would you say that they would say no?
I think that they won't say no. I think it's more just that they're trying to make sure that you have all the information. But honestly, I would have read the box and I would have checked then if I was ovulating, because he never. So I think it's really unfair that they think women are. I'm sure they don't mean this, but they're implying we're stupid.
Yeah.
And of course.
No, I'm sure they do mean
right?
this,
There is
actually.
such a, because this is the thing, I'm sorry, men can go into the pharmacy and buy medicine that makes them
Viagra?
drowsy. Or or like, and then they trust them not to operate machinery. Trust me with my body, because if I'd have bought that, I would have read everything. But because the pharmacist, and he did like 30 questions, I was like, oh, it's, yeah. And he even said to me, he was like, oh, you're taking this really quickly, because it was like 6 hours afterwards. And
That's
he was like,
is why it's called the morning after.
yeah, he was like, you've 3 days. So like in no way did I think I was at risk. So it is kind of crazy. And then, I was like, I missed my period at like 4 weeks, and I wasn't going to call the Irish girls because that'd be the blind leading the fucking blind, you know? So I called American girls. They were all like, it's fine, you missed your period, don't worry about it, because I don't take the morning after pill. And it was Tori Piskin who was like,
Love her.
Yeah, love her. She's the best. She was like, if you don't fucking take a pregnancy test, I'll fucking send you a pregnancy test. So like,
Amazon Prime me one right
yeah,
now.
100%. She was like,
DoorDash.
She's like, yeah, exactly. Knocking on my door. But so I took it and it said pregnant. I ordered one on Amazon, took it and it said pregnant. And the big part of the show is like, this is how I know it wouldn't be a regular form of birth control, because you take the pregnancy test, you have to order the pregnancy test, you take the pregnancy test, then you have to book in your gyno. That was a week later. Then you book in the abortion clinic. Now we're talking about 2 fucking weeks.
Yeah.
And then it was 9 hours in the abortion clinic. That whole process, not a fun fucking they leave the big light on. Okay, I do not like the big light.
What do you mean the bit like
in the
overhead?
operating room?
Just sitting in the fucking room.
Oh.
It's horrible. And
I was gonna say, I was like, when they're operating, they probably should leave the big light on.
What do you mean the big light? Like the
it's just very
movable-
bright in there, and you're hungry, can't eat for 24 hours. The whole thing.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
Wow, the worst part of an abortion coming to light here on Guys We Fuck.
Yeah, the first thing I would want
Famine
is
head
a
over here. I was like, my people did not
You can
die
get
in a
potatoes
famine.
now.
They were not genocide.
I mean,
for me not to be able to eat every hour.
Yeah, I would want comfort food immediately.
I mean, and then I didn't bring a phone. I just didn't really. My phone was going dead, and like there was
Jesus.
women crying. It's
a pretty shitty abortion.
Yeah, it's like, it's not the idea that it's like that women would want to do this every fucking Tuesday, which is also physically impossible, because it's like 3 weeks after you can't have sex, you can't have a bath. I overdosed.
You can't have a bath?
Yeah, I don't have baths anyway because they make me feel overwhelmed by the steam and the sitting. And the being wet.
Yeah.
I don't like being wet.
You know,
for too long.
baths, yeah.
So that was fine for me, to be honest. But I overdosed on the medicine as well, because I didn't know it was pain meds they were sending. I thought it was just because I didn't leave with anything, like any sheets or anything, and no one's allowed to come in with you. And they did do surgery.
They did the suction.
Yeah,
part,
because even though I was only 7 weeks, you have to be under 6 weeks to get the pill, and that still fucks people up a bit as well. So
Yeah, I've heard. Yeah.
I think actually what I got was probably a little bit better because it doesn't make you sick or whatever. But it wasn't, the embryo wasn't 6 weeks or 7 weeks. It had grown faster. So it was actually under 9 weeks, which I thought was really important. And I talk about it in the show as well, because that in Ireland, women only have 12 weeks to get an abortion.
Fuck.
So you actually might think you're only 7 weeks.
And you're not.
But your
That's
cells
why
grow faster.
The 6-week abortion ban is just basically a full abortion ban because it's so
you
fucking rare
can't.
to know you're not pregnant. Like, it's crazy.
And I went in because when they did that scan, she was like, oh no, you're further along than you think, but it would have been physically impossible because I hadn't had sex for a month previous. It's just,
Wow, a lot of shit in the air.
A lot of
this
scary
is a shit
shit.
show abortion. Wow.
Yeah. But I'm sure that's like, it's just, these are things we need to know.
Yeah,
and then,
Where did you got it in New York?
in New York, yeah.
At Planned Parenthood? I mean, that's gone now.
It's just an abortion clinic on 42nd Street.
I was like, I didn't know what the timeline on your story is.
So this was last February, but they could have had a plan. I don't know. I just went with whatever. My gynecologist was really nice, and I just went with wherever. It was weird though, and none of this is in the show, and the show obviously has jokes, so it's fun when I talk about it, I promise. But when she was checking to see if I was pregnant after the test I did myself, the woman, she specifically said she was doing a scan, and she specifically said she doesn't want to see because I didn't want to see because I didn't want to have any guilt or whatever.
Sure.
There's a lot of propaganda I grew up with where pro-life would show you these posters.
Yeah, there's fake clinics in America that legally can operate that make you think you can get an abortion, and they'll do exactly that. They'll show, because any dipshit can operate an ultrasound machine. So they'll show you whether you wanted to see it or not to guilt you because it's God's will or whatever.
Yeah. So basically she put in, and when I went into the room, there was I saw a note saying, do not show.
Good.
And she gave that. Now your woman was...
I'm glad.
Also foreign like me. I'd say she was Eastern European. I wouldn't be surprised if she was from an extremely Catholic country because she could have been Polish or something. Her accent sounded very similar, and I worked with a lot of Polish people when I was at home. But she left the scan up for me to see. She had it where I couldn't have not seen it because it was right by my clothes. But that didn't make me feel bad. That actually made me feel better, bitch. Because then I saw, that's smaller. That's a blip.
It's a literal
smaller than a
poppy seed.
A bean in a fucking burrito.
Can you show us with your hands like how big
it was teeny tiny.
Like your thumbnail, like a nail?
Like teeny tiny, like to the point where you're like, oh my God, there's no way. This is not, it's not conscious. It's not, I'd feel less guilty cutting my hair at this. No, I mean, do you know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly. Yes.
Like, it's not the idea that we're.
That's why one of my favorite jokes, I talked about this when we had Liz Winstead on. Sarah Silverman has a joke where if you're going to protest outside of an abortion clinic and you're going to have a fetus on your poster, have it the actual size of the fetus, which is minuscule.
Yeah.
When I always think about it, it's like, okay, be like, that could, potential. Actually, I don't even have
every time you jizz, it's potential
about abortion, but someone said something really weird to me about after one of my shows today. This weekend, that was like, remember one of those babies could be Einstein or something. I think this must have been in regard to a joke I have about drinking cum. So that's
Corinne.
fucking crazy that he even said that. It took me a moment to even process what he was saying because it was such like an archaic hack anti-abortion line that he was using. I don't even know. Are you familiar with it? Because a lot in America, people will be like, "Oh, you could have aborted Einstein."
Oh yeah.
People love saying that. And but yeah, I always think about it's like if we're going to talk about potential, well, every man has a bunch of sperms going around that have potential that will be unused. Obviously, you're not using all of them, and we all have eggs that will be unused. So stuff is potential human life is ending no matter what. It's just,
and it's basically just a sperm I got rid of, to be honest, at this point. I know
crazy.
I got so many death threats for going on Ireland AM and talking about it, and it's crazy to be pro-life but want to kill me. And one guy said he'd crucify me, and I'm like, Jesus didn't like that. You're not going to go to the pearly gates and he's going to be like, thank God for cruise. But I do think we should more sex education and all that stuff, but also it is really high. A lot of women do miscarry, and I do think that's bad that we don't talk about that as well. Not to be like,
I think most women miscarry.
Yeah,
I think we've been a lot better about talking about it recently because it's so common for that first pregnancy that someone experiences to end in a miscarriage.
And we just had this journalist, Jessica Valenti, on, and she is covering currently with the abortion rules across the states. Women are going to jail for miscarrying.
I know, and this is what's really scary.
Fucking insane.
Because I could have been in a different state, I could have miscarried anyway, and I could have still gotten...
Yeah, you could have been on the road in fucking Idaho.
Yeah, and then be put in prison. It's all about
It's insane. It's about controlling women.
Also, if all these people with the signs, instead of the fetuses, instead of this, instead of that,
Adopt a kid.
no, advocate for free childcare and free healthcare. And that is just automatically going to reduce it anyway. You can't expect women to have a baby, 50 grand to give birth in New York and be put into poverty. And then you don't help them at all. So it's just...
Also, yes, stop school shootings. I mean, there's
so many things where they're hypocritical.
That they could be doing to actually enhance and positively impact society. But they don't want to do that. They just want to annoy us.
Yeah. And it's funny, like, you know, the opposite thing is, oh, you know, I made a responsible decision. I don't, you know, have the money or the means, or I didn't, you know what I mean? So it's like, if I thought about it and I was like, okay, let's say people are going to hate you no matter what. Because if I were to have had a baby and it all worked out and then I had to sign up for something, social welfare here because I'm a comedian and I can't afford it, they'd be going, this fucking
lazy piece of
bitch
shit.
with her snaps and with her this. And like that'd be fine if I did that. And I've been paying taxes, I would deserve those benefits. Yeah. I, of course, should get those benefits because I can't afford to have a fucking child here. But they'd be given out about you no matter what. So you just have to do what makes you fucking happy and fuck the rest of them, to be honest.
It's this whole aspect of a woman's life and considering all these things that you just talked about makes me really, over the years, finally understand how much the world hates women because that's all that this is about.
Oh, it's so true.
Control.
My fiance pointed this out as well. So obviously it was Conor McGregor posted about me. This is not defamation because he did it. He called me demonic.
Figure.
So where did he post about you, on Instagram?
On Twitter. He deleted it after a couple of days.
Pussy ass bitch.
Yeah, I know. I was like, either commit to the fucking thing but
he's watching
Ireland's finest.
Catholic Alliance or something shared me, calling me something, and was watching. And
Scarlet.
Yes, yeah, pretty much.
Scarlet letter over here. That's
and then
crazy.
he reshared it and called me demonic, and the screenshot was me like this. So I was like, of all the fucking photos, I do look a bit. But all that hate I got for those few weeks, I mean, constant like comments, this and that and all that. But my fiance pointed out, they never said anything about the person involved in this. Like there was a man who helped. There was a man who also made the mistake. There was a man who also, if you want to say, we were by accidentally irresponsible in a lot of way, but a lot of it was due to lack of education or like the morning after pill, all these things. Like there was a lot of little bit of steps, but no one ever said they called me a whore. No one would ever want to, how did she get pregnant? No one ever run a rider, which also proved they didn't watch the actual segment. They just went off McGregor's post. And they were also hating on the woman who interviewed me. There was a man who interviewed me as well. He's fine, famous guy at home. He was super sweet. He was super considerate. He was not.
Was it Dave?
No, his name is. I forget his name. Tommy Boyle or something. Lovely man, but not one comment was towards him, and she got a lot of hate. And she even messaged me being like, I don't know how you do this. Like, you're, hope you're okay. She was so kind. And they were all very kind. The Ireland AM reached out to me being like, let us know. And I was like, honestly, no, it's grand. These people will get over it. They'll move on to something else. They're not going to bother coming to where's he going to find nails to crucify me? Like he's going to build a fucking cross, bring it down to New York Comedy Club. And a lot of these people, like my fiance was able to find their address. Like they didn't realize how fucking public they are.
Yeah. People don't. Yeah, we've gotten doxxed on the internet. Like my address has been doxxed on the internet many times. But it is interesting how with when you say something that offends somebody, a lot of time it's a niche group, but it's a pretty large group that responds to this offensive comment in quotes is death.
Yeah, and 100%. And it's like they believe I killed something that they would have never known existed. They would have never helped. They would have never, and they want to kill me. It makes no sense. But
exactly.
Also,
and if it had gone on to exist, they would have done nothing to enhance its life.
No, and if I had died and it was ended up in the foster, whatever, they don't help anybody. But also, I don't believe in what they believe in. It's okay. You believe that was a soul, and you believe blah blah blah. I don't. Yeah, and that's okay that I don't believe it. But it's so weird to me. Like I'm not going to your heaven anyway.
Yeah,
my future whatevers aren't going to go to your heaven either, because I'm more than likely not going to believe in what you believe in.
I don't think people who are wishing people dead on the internet are going to heaven either by these same standards. Like, what are you talking? You're definitely going to get that. That's going to be mentioned in your life review.
100%.
Sure.
Yeah, and Jesus is Jesus, like the Jesus I like. So I'm not religious in a way. I do believe Jesus existed, and I think he was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, that's
I think
exactly
he was
what
a socialist.
I'm like, oh, he was awesome, and everybody was threatened by that.
He wanted universal healthcare. He was always trying to heal anybody who was sick. His teachings are be kind to people. His best friend was a woman. He's not a fucking misogynist.
Yep, nope.
And he just wanted everybody to be looked after. So if you're a Christian and you're against free healthcare or you hate immigrants or whatever, you're not a Christian, unfortunately. Maybe you're a version of it, but you're not what Christ wanted.
Yeah, and it's also interesting to that I know the people that would say death to Katie after Conor McGregor reposted that abortion joke is like in the name of their own Christianity. With like they're not interested in facing their own hypocrisy, which is very interesting because I often ponder just in my spare time, to be honest, especially when I'm not mad about it. To like how do you get that motherfucker to be humbled, I think is it.
Yeah, look, McGregor, a lot of them, they do some bad stuff and then they turn to Christianity to hide it, so you shouldn't be harboring. But that's why...
Doesn't he mistreat women?
There's a lot, there's a case. He's suing people now, though, so for saying that
allegedly,
there was a big case at home and the woman won it.
Nice.
Yeah,
good
so for her, so she took it. It didn't pass, and I guess she took him then to a civil case.
Because of the criminal, which she didn't win.
Yeah, and she was getting attacked and everything. Like, she's so brave, she's amazing. Yeah. So she took him on, which is great. But that's why I talk about Saint Bridget, because she was pagan Bridget before, but she gave the first recorded abortion in Ireland when abortions were totally normal, totally fine.
Yeah.
In like pagan Ireland. And yeah, I think that's really cool that she then became this Christian entity, but is known for that, and that really pissed people off as well. But I talk about her in the show.
It's so funny. If your beliefs were so sturdy, why are they so easily threatened?
Oh yeah, and like who cares?
Like who cares if what I say isn't what you believe?
Yeah,
like that's so basic to me.
Yeah.
I actually love when people don't believe what I believe in because I go, more for me.
Yeah.
More belief for me. Did you go back and forth publicly with Conor McGregor online?
I didn't. I think I had already hidden I'd already deactivated my Twitter.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Because
my fiance he was like, just heads up. Someone sent this to me. So he was like, I was getting all these weird
death threats.
Yeah, and I didn't know what was going on. And then I guess it had been up for 6 hours at this point, my fiance. But he posted it on his Instagram story as well. So
Conor did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I didn't also. I don't follow. I know.
Now, did you get any followers from this?
Probably. I also lost a lot of followers, so I think I cleared out and gained.
How many people unfollow you because of this?
So fucked.
But I'd say I probably got followers over the years from doing like Gas Digital or something.
Yeah. And then they're all like, wait.
Now there are people who listen to that who've gone even more super Christian, super Trumpy.
Well, those people you want to skim out. Anyway.
Exactly. They're not going to pay to see my show. And it's just... So I definitely
They were just looking for like a bikini picture. I know exactly the type of follower.
Yeah. They probably would have left one side because I haven't posted about being engaged. I just say it like in some jokes or whatever. But as soon as I post a video about that, because I have a video from where
you get less followers.
Oh, I'm going to lose followers. 100%.
That'd be the same. Followers for sure.
Yeah.
And some female, honestly, if you keep posting content about it.
They'll be like
people who make their whole personality that they got engaged, and you go, oh, Jesus Christ.
Well, I won't do that because I haven't even posted about it. Like friends are like, I didn't even know you were engaged.
That's
but I was like,
nice.
I just like to keep certain stuff with him more private because I feel protective over him.
Hell yeah.
But I will post a video at one point. So I'm only going to post one because I really like this one. I've been holding on to it, of the video of us reconnecting from stage. And I'll just blank out his name.
Yeah.
And then I'll put in pictures of us when we were younger and I'll blank out his face.
That's cute.
And then I'll have the maybe like a picture from the wedding day or something. And I think that'll be a fun video.
Yeah.
But other than that.
So we got to wait to the wedding day to see this.
Maybe. Yeah. That'll be my way to post the dress.
Wait, is it set? Was the wedding day set?
Yeah. Next year. Yeah. October.
In Ireland?
Yeah.
Nice.
In Ireland. Yeah. So
at a castle?
No, we looked at those type of vibes, and by the time you ordering your food and all of this, we were like,
expensive.
God, I can't. Oh my God, I never emailed back to that girl that I didn't want to do it there. Fuck, I need to do that when I get off.
She thinks
See,
you're
this
doing
is
it in
shit
a castle.
I can't struggle with.
If she doesn't have your credit card number, it's fine.
Yeah, no, just because I feel bad because I just like ghosted her now. But we picked a place that is more like a weird hotel, and we really like it. Yeah, it's very like artsy.
Nice.
And so the room is like very like wooden. It looks kind of like a barn in a way. So,
that's fun.
Yeah. So,
that's cool.
And I'm gonna get I was like, does my fiance know this? He does. Yeah, I'm getting a green dress.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And the invite list. I imagine doing an invite list for a wedding is a wild
fucking
time.
nightmare because
you're like, I
it's
know
made
too
me
many
really.
people.
It's also made me really like think about my friendships.
Yeah. I'd imagine it would.
Yeah, it's made me be like,
Who's
actually,
making the cut?
that person, I thought they were a really good friend. I think
Not
they're
really.
more like maybe, you know, like there's one person that I was like, I don't even know. I always thought they were a really good friend. Now, not like super close. Like I have my really close group of friends. I love them. They're not even going to think this. But there was one friend where I was like, wait, this is making me realize I don't know if they would even turn up. You know what I mean? Like you're like, actually, I need to pick friends for this that aren't just your fun, maybe the one that you go out for the drink. It has to be the ones that you know will show up.
Yeah.
And they want to, you know what I mean? Like
They
it
wanna
made
be
me
there.
think
It's gonna
about
be a
like
good
who
vibe.
are my friends that I like can trust.
Yeah.
That you're like, oh, like these are actually important qualities to me. I need to know that someone's reliable because
I
it's in
guess,
Ireland.
you don't really make a
like-
list of all your
I
friends
see what you're
until...
saying.
Yeah, like you then realize,
Like
oh,
they're
that's
gonna
a
say
drinking
yes.
buddy.
And that you think someone would say yes to a wedding in Ireland and then not show up? That is very unadult.
That's fucking
Yeah.
rude.
Because I was gonna say, I was like, you know, what I did with my 40th birthday was that I invited truly anyone I would be really happy to see walk through the door, including no matter where they lived, other countries, other states, whatever. And I said, I'm not gonna not include someone. I was like, that's their choice. And people got on airplanes.
Yeah.
People got on. I was truly stunned. I was so moved, but I was like, that just taught me a lesson that like, I feel like sometimes we like make decisions about people's lives in our own heads. Like, they're too busy or they're going to be with their family, whatever. Invite anyone that you want. I mean,
that's
this
true.
is different because you're paying per head. I was not paying per
that's
head.
crazy.
expensive.
How
What
much
the
is it per guest?
So
like
if-
150, 200?
Oh my God, yeah, it's so expensive. So, and euro is like way more than dollars. So I forgot. I wasn't
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
but
damn.
You're like, oh shit, this is cheap.
and
No,
then
it's not.
they don't do open bars at home. It has, which
I
is.
did an open bar at an Irish wedding in
Did they?
Yeah, Malahide. Or like right outside of
Malahide,
Malahide.
yeah,
Right
they're
outside of
fucking
Malahide.
loaded.
Oh, okay.
That's like the rich area.
okay.
But yeah, most weddings at home. I've never been to one. They might have had like an hour open bar, but a lot of it is because people would get too drunk and
Yeah.
they would die.
Well, that's better for
I will
you that
say-
it's not
it's not customary. Yeah.
customary thing because then you save so much money.
I know, yeah. And there'll probably be maybe something like we'll see with the money where maybe we'd be able to do an hour or something. I don't know. I won't commit to it. But the packages we're looking at will give people a drink at the reception.
Yeah.
And then a half bottle of wine at the table. and then
nice.
a drink for the what are they called? Scripts? No. Speeches?
Speeches.
Yeah. So they'll at least get like I guess a half bottle of wine is probably 2 glasses. They'll at least get minimum 4 drinks. And then
That's
we'll
a
kind
lot of
see.
drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and
really
then-
don't need more than that.
Well, Ireland is different.
But if you do an open bar
not
for
a
the my
rager.
friend had a open bar at her wedding and she had about probably 300 at the wedding. It was like you just see people lose control of themselves. It's like,
Oh,
let's
yeah.
go. They have like 4 drinks in their hand leaving. They're like getting that.
It's like you're near a kid at a buffet. You're like,
Yeah.
wait, I could just put shit on my plate?
Yeah.
Well, see, that's
100%.
what I do. At a wedding, I'm a terror at the buffet, but like that food's not getting finished and that's just getting thrown away anyway.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So that would be €140 plus 12.5% tip. So I guess it's
Wow.
like they include service charge. So
Sure.
cheaper than here.
Yeah.
But you're looking at probably like €155, which is like $180, is it?
Once I found out that that's how like weddings are like certain amount per over $100 per person, I'm like, oh yeah, a +1 is a fucking rude thing to assume. Like if you don't get a +1, asking for a +1, I'm like,
yeah.
oh yeah, that is kind of fucked up.
No, we're going to be really strict, and I'm even going to do the invitations all personally because it was really funny. Like my uncle was winding me up that he was going to bring his baby, and I was like,
No, you're
don't
not.
you want like to have a fun time with your his wife is like amazing, but I was like, and he was like, yeah, I was only joking, but then I was like, I should
Say no kids.
make sure whoever has like babies or kids so they know like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, you have to put.
You can
have to
say
put that
no
on.
kids.
But you have to specify.
I
Yeah.
love going to weddings with no kids.
because we'll have one kid, that's the only thing, but
Yeah.
it's on
But
my
that-
fiance side and he has no people and he will give him a job.
Yeah, if there's a kid, it's usually an immediate family of the bride or
Yes.
groom.
Yeah.
So it's like,
There's no
that's
way he's
fine.
not gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. And plus, he has like no people for this. It was really funny. Jessica Lavin was like, "Oh, this sounds like such a great wedding. I want to go." And then she was like, "I was like, yeah." I said my fiance's name, and I was like, "He doesn't really have that much on his side." And she's like, "Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna go on his side. I'm gonna. When's he coming?" And I was like, "December." And she's like, "I'm gonna be friends with him."
Yeah.
So.
I love her. I miss her. I don't see her enough
Yeah,
anymore.
but he watched her special.
Nice.
Yeah, and
wow,
he, like-
really cares about women.
He really does because I
That's incredible.
shared it and I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. And he was like, "Oh, I was like, oh, Jess is driving me up to like we're going to drive up to Stamford and." he was like, yeah, her special was so great, you must tell her. And he was like, you know, she's an example of like, I forget the word he used, it was like a big word, but like how things aren't right in the world.
Yeah.
Because he was like she should be famous.
Wow.
Like there's no reason, like he was like, this was like A+ quality special. Like it's I forget the word, but how like people get fame who don't deserve it.
Yeah. Just the world, really.
Like P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Who's that?
P. Diddy?
So this has been a great convo. Speaking of your special, Therapy,
yes.
it's available to watch on YouTube
Yes.
for free.
For free.
What's your YouTube channel link?
Katie Boyle Comic.
Katie Boyle Comic.
But you also want to, more importantly, you want to promote your Gramercy Theater show. Is that what, that's why
Yes.
you're here, right?
Yes.
Thank you,
Yeah,
yeah.
this show will come out this Friday for Luminary listeners, and then in 2 Fridays it'll be wide release. Just
Yes,
FYI.
so it's on the 19th. So you'll probably, if you're a wider listener, you'll probably listen to it the day
The
of.
day, yeah.
So
So get your tickets now if it's not already sold out, which I
Yes.
hope it is. I'm looking at my calendar right now.
Yeah, so if you're a luminary.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's at Gramercy the 19th of December. At Katie Boyle Comic has all the info, or that's my website, has the ticket. And yeah, it's going to be love, abortion,
Yes.
paganism.
Sounds great. I want to see it.
Tampons, blood.
And
Yeah.
for those of you who are watching, Gramercy Theater, you guys know it's right on the same street as my alma mater, SVA, 23rd Street, shout out, New York City. So make sure to get your tickets.
Yes.
Thank you. And follow Katie on Instagram, and, don't unfollow her if she says anything about abortion, because you wouldn't anyway.
Yeah, you guys wouldn't.
Thank you.
guys
And I
wouldn't.
didn't
That's why
cry.
we love you.
That's because I've been to therapy since our last episode.
Well, you seem to be having just a good time.
Thanks. Yeah.
All right, this has been Guys We Fucked, the anti-slut shaming podcast. We'll talk to you next Friday. Bye.